Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ellie and today it is time for my March book haul. I want to apologise if it's a little bit dark, I'm not really sure. I had to close up my blinds a little bit because as you can see there's kind of a weird glare. I don't know, it's a gloomy day, things are happening and whatnot. So, I don't have too many books in this half. Granted, I did do that mid-month haul. But yeah, I'm on a book buying ban. I have broken that 3 times, but we'll get into that in a minute. And we're just gonna jump in with these ones, because these ones arrived, I think, the day that mid-month one went up after I'd been waiting for them. And that is these books in the In Death series by J.D. Robb. I don't have these in order, but I have Holiday in Death, Rapture in Death, Conspiracy in Death, Vengeance in Death, and Immortal in Death. So I've just started this series. I'm just about to start book 2. So I already had some of them. I had 2 of them arrive, and then I have these ones now. And I'm very much looking forward to getting to those and to seeing how I feel about them. So those ones I ordered all in February, and they just took like a month and a half to get here. I ordered them all from Better World Books. I know that right now that's kind of their general arrival time, and I'm totally fine with that. So yeah, I am a little bit annoyed that they all arrived like that day, and I was like, damn it. Okay, let's talk. I have another uni book. I think I had another one arrive, but that's non-fiction, so we'll come to that bridge. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. That's what I mean to say. But this is Renoko by Aphra Behn. This is about a prince in the... I don't know where they're from originally, but they get transported... They get transported from Africa to the colony of Suriname. But it says that it reflects the author's romantic view of... Nope, where did I read that? Nope, I've lost it. I swear I said something... Yeah, okay, inspired by Aphra Behn's visit. And then, so this was first printed in 1688, and yeah, I think it's like a short piece of fiction. I'm not really sure. I thought it was a play, but it is definitely not. So I don't really know where I got that idea from. I guess we've been studying plays, it would make sense. Anyway. This one I am reading this week, so I can't remember what day this is going up on, but I either have read it or I'm about to read it by the time you see this. Okay, so let's talk about the ones I broke my book buying ban for, and I got all 3 of these secondhand, so I don't feel so bad about having broken that haul. And there's kind of a theme that I didn't notice until now, but they're all blue. And let's get into it. So we have Northern Lights by Philip Pullman. This one is in pretty good condition. There's a little bit of scuffing here, but I was rereading this last week, I think, and I was about to reread it, and then I found this in a secondhand bookstore, and this edition matches the other two because the previous copy that I had didn't. So I saw this and I was like, it is fate, it is meant to be. So I have now reread this for the third time, and I will talk about that in my wrap up. And then I had, from the same bookstore, is Blue Nights by Joan Didion. I've also read this one before. The Year of Magical Thinking, which is kind of a previous book to this one. They're not like sequels, but they kind of connect. That's one of the like books that changed my life. And I've just like never seen a Joan Didion book in the wild here. So I saw this one and it was like $4, and I was like, yes, I will have you. I do want to reread this. I do want to reread The Year of Magical Thinking. It's been about 5 or 6 years since I read that. And I was reading it at a time I was going through a pretty intense period of grief, and it really helped. And then I read this a few years later, which also kind of talks about grief, ironically when I was back in another kind of intense period of grief for a different family member. So I would really like to reread those and kind of see now that, I mean, grief never goes away, and I have lost 2 more family members since then, and yeah, but I think it would be interesting to kind of look at it having gone through all of that and see how it impacts me now. And then I got this beautiful book. This is Made You Up by Francesca Zappia. Stunning. Look at the purple on the back. So pretty. Started reading this one during Bookoplathon as the contemporary prompt, and I made it 80 pages in, and then I just ran out of time. But I also want to show you my gorgeous little bookmark here, which is like purples and pinks and like a dark bluey tone, and then some gold foiling with teacups and like a teacup on there. You cannot see this very well at all, can you? Sort of. You can kind of see it there. This is from the Quirky Cup Collective, who I will link below, and this was a birthday gift from my best friend Angel, but I love it, and it has a really nice like that is a solid tassel. So I really like using that in equally pretty books. And yes, I'm really enjoying this. This is about mental health, dealing with the main character has schizophrenia, and someone close to me also has schizophrenia. So it's kind of an interesting look into that. I can't speak for representation because that's not something that I have personal experience with, and I'm not very far in either, but it has a very high rating on Goodreads, and a couple of my friends who are also really interested in reading mental health rep and good healthy mental health rep have all given it really high ratings. So hoping that I will also enjoy it. Not couple of days, filming this couple of days before the end of March. Don't think I'm going to finish it in the month because it is assignment week, but I will definitely be picking it up at the start of April if I don't get to it. And it's gorgeous, and yeah, really enjoying it. And then I have 2 books that I pre-ordered. I think I have 3 other pre-orders running at the moment. One of them is getting released tomorrow, so I'm probably going to have some more pre-orders next month. Anyway, first one, of course, Chain of Iron, Cassandra Clare. Second book in the Last Hours series. I haven't read this yet. So here's the thing. I was like rereading Chain of Gold, haven't finished rereading it yet. And then I pre-ordered this, like I said, and then it didn't ship for 5 days after it was released. So, wasn't very happy about that. And then, of course, it took a couple of days to get to me. Less stressed about the post situation because, you know, that's not their fault. But the fact that they had it in their warehouse, or they said they had it in their warehouse and still hadn't shipped it, was kind of annoying me. And then I was away when it arrived, so I couldn't even read it. And yeah, then things just got a little wild, and I ran out of time this month to do this, and I probably could have if I'd really pushed myself, but I just was so tired. It's such a big book too. So please no spoilers, but I have been told by my best friend that she just hurt after this one, so yeah. Looking forward to that. Yay, thank you. And then the other one I have is The Conductors by Nicole Glover. I was really excited about this one, and I thought it would be really cool. And then it was kind of confusing with release dates. I couldn't really work it out. And then I was ordering my books for uni, and I needed just like a few more dollars. I think like $10 or $12 more to have this promotion thing, and I saw this and I was like, ooh. At the time I think it was coming out in like a week or 2 weeks or something, really short, and I was like, I'm gonna add that to the list. I'm gonna pre-order that, and it is gorgeous. I also quite like the US cover, or the UK, I don't know. I think this is UK, but I quite like that cover. I think it's dark and creepy, but this is gorgeous, and this kind of reminds me a little bit the newer cover of Kindred. So yes, this one is, I believe, during the Civil War, she had escaped slavery, and then she used that to help other people, kind of, you know, Underground Railroad, Harriet Tubman style. And then now that the war is over, she and her husband basically solve murders and things like that the white authorities are like, nah, we're good. And I think this is kind of, I think it might be a little bit ghost, supernatural, paranormal horror-ish, which isn't usually my thing, but a lot of my friends have also given this like 4 or 5 stars, and yes, it sounds interesting. I will give it a go. I'm just a scaredy cat, so like if it's like, it doesn't even matter if it's gruesome. Like, I can deal with gruesome, because most of the time I read it and I'm like, I don't know what that means. But if it's like horror, scary, keep me up at night, we'll see. I'm kind of hoping it's not, kind of thinking maybe it isn't that bad, because a couple of my friends are also not into that kind of thing and really liked it, so crossing fingers. But that's it. That's the haul for March. I keep thinking it's a different month, and I don't know what month I think it is, but it just doesn't feel like March anymore. So it's been a fun few weeks, hasn't it? And I Hope you're all doing well, you're staying safe. But yes, I did want to quickly mention that I think it's Friday. I won't have my wrap-up up. I will be doing my haul revisit instead, because it kind of got to this week and I realized that my wrap-up this month was gonna take a little bit more time than I had anticipated, and I think going forward, I think that's kind of how it's going to end up being, that my haul revisit will come out, and then the second upload day in the month will be the wrap up, just because a lot of the time they've been falling on the first of the month, so I'm reading up until that, the night before, and then I usually have to film that on that day in order to get it up for that Friday or Monday, and it's stressful. So we're going to change that, and really has no bearing on you guys at all. It's just me, but I thought I would just mention it, and I will see you all Friday with my haul revisit, and very excited to be sharing that with all of you. So I'll see you all then. Bye.